We have people talking about JK and other celebrities losing thousands of dollars. We then have people saying that Jennie apparently confirmed the relationship rumors and what's going on with that. And then we have Jennie having some pictures coming out that are controversial. Say Dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Let's get into it. So Jennie did a photo shoot with Harper's Bazaar, and this has garnered a lot of attention and controversy. First off, Harper Bazaar is definitely the best place to do controversy. It's definitely going to be a place where you make a statement and you do something controversial, and that's going to be a big deal and actually make the impact that they may be hoping for. But I think this particular controversy is a lot more interesting than most, because if you've been following for a while, then you know what K-pop fandoms often like to do is this thing where they're upset about one thing, but the actual thing that they're upset about is something that's not really something that they should be upset about. And if they are upset about it, other people in the community would shame them for being upset about something so frivolous. So they pretend that they're upset about something else. So what am I talking about? Jennie did a pretty scandalous, at least according to Korea, type of photo shoot. Now the photos are definitely a little bit more risque. I don't know how much I can show because they show a lot of skin, so I'll probably just show the face and then not the body. But some of these photos involve her just wearing a bra and a top, and other photos involve her wearing a very sheer shirt where you could see almost her nipples. Now, of course, in American culture, definitely not a big deal. I mean, it's still generally a big deal, but a lot of artists have come out and shown that particular body part now. So it's not seen as big of an issue. Of course, however, like for Korea and more conservative areas, or even if the artist is particularly known to be a children's artist or have a more teen/children audience, then doing something like this could be considered upsetting for the parents or whatever. Now, this got a lot of controversy because, as you can imagine, something like this will generally get a lot of controversy. But the hate more so centers around people saying that this is just not a good photo, that these photos don't look great, and that she is not a great model or whatever. It's pretty clear that these comments are just made because they don't like that the clothing was sheer or that she was, showing off more of herself. Because her not being a good model allegedly was never an issue before. Her allegedly making similar faces when she poses was not an issue when she was doing anything else and when she was covered up. But they're saying it's an issue now. This wasn't an issue when she did Calvin Klein. This wasn't an issue when she modeled for anything else. So this is how I think it's weird, right? Like suddenly all these other issues pop up that weren't an issue before. The only thing that changed now is that she's more naked. This is something that irks me. This is something that I think children do, because if you're upset about something, just say that thing that you're upset about and say it and get shamed and realize that it's not a big deal. But instead they kind of wrap this around this thing that makes it so like you don't actually know what they're upset about, and they actually never get closure for what they're actually upset about, and no one can actually come to you and tell you that you're wrong for being upset about that thing. You're just going to be a hater that's in the shadows. And maybe that's what they want, right? Now, this next story is a little bit more about BTS and really all of K-pop, which is this idea that there is a rise of AI content. I was very confused initially to this when I first started seeing it, if this was going to be something that was going to be used against artists, because it, of course, would make artists obsolete or would take away a lot from the art. But I can't imagine that it would completely rid an artist of streams or whatever, or get rid of artists in general. We as people are still going to want to see a live show, and we would probably be okay with a projection character here and there of like a fake character, but I think a lot of us would still like to see a real person on stage. We would like to meet someone who we can idolize and then meet them in person. And I think this was interesting because the way Western pop was going was that every artist wanted to be relatable. They wanted to be this artist that you can consider a friend. And they do this because even if they mess up or they're not as great as they can be, the audience can still excuse them because this is your friend, you know them. But funny enough, when every artist started doing that, every actress and actor started doing that, people were bored of this. And the moment that was happening, K-pop and BTS were kind of brewing in the background. And then they came in like a wrecking ball, and people realized that other people do want something to idolize. They don't necessarily want just another friend to interact with. They want something that they see as literally perfect. And I think that that's where we are in media and pop culture right now, where people are realizing that they want this entity that they can look up to rather than a friend. So for that reason, I believe AI would be difficult to do. I think it would be difficult to create an entity that is perfect with AI, but there was a study coming out that was quite shocking. I believe the person who discovered this or reported on it was called Music Magpie. I think this is a company in the UK. I've never really heard of them before. They seem like a pretty big one, potentially a reputable one. But of course, take everything with a grain of salt. Now, this site or company reported on how much artists would lose due to AI. So it's interesting to think how anyone would even know how much an artist would lose to AI. However, something that's interesting that I actually didn't know, because I don't really use Spotify religiously, is that there's a lot of AI songs on Spotify. So songs that pretend to be the artist or sound like the artist, but maybe are completely different songs that they're singing, or they're taking the artist's voice and making them sing another song that the artist never covered before, things like that. And so apparently some of these AI accounts have millions of streams on the AI track. One of them was none other than JK, and the music site that did the prediction predicted that JK would lose upwards of about £77,000, like UK money, which is roughly similar to US money for about 1K. Now, this isn't a lot of money right now for an artist, considering that it's JK, and if JK were to lose 100K for him, it wouldn't be much because he makes millions. But of course, these things can grow, and with the use of AI more, it would obviously grow. But here's my take on it. AI can serve as a way to fill in content. So for example, if there is a piece of content that they wish JK would cover, like maybe a song that they wish JK would cover, asking AI to do this while JK, let's say, is in the military is totally fine, I think, because it keeps the community alive, but also at the same time, JK may or may not ever do that cover, so it's actually not taking money away from him. Now, people will argue and say, it's taking streams away because people are spending their time streaming AI rather than streaming the real artist. But I wouldn't even say that they're streaming AI. I would probably say that they're streaming that particular song, a song that the artist would never do anyway. So this is the same as if they streamed a different artist, because it's a different artist. So if JK were to see that he is losing millions and millions of streams and a lot of money, then just go ahead and make a cover of those songs that the AI did. Make it a little bit different from the AI, do something the AI can't do, and then all those streams would come back to him. I see it as a little bit more of a positive and a good marketing technique. It is JK and other members being able to look at the AI track and seeing what they can do, and almost knowing for sure that if they do it, it will work too, because if it's so successful with this AI track, it'll probably be successful when they do it. There has been this rumor that has been surfacing around that is extremely interesting, which is this idea that JK and Jimin are officially romantically together, and Jennie from Blackpink has confirmed it. The rumor basically comes from the fact that Jennie recently had denied being in a relationship with Bam Bam. So this relationship rumor is a little bit interesting because recently Jennie was in the US, and then she was seen with Bam Bam getting lunch. So an American paparazzi actually got this, and they posted it online, I guess, and then it became this huge thing, like, oh, are they romantically together? Because it was allegedly confirmed a while ago that Jennie and V had broken up, right? So if we're going by those rumors, then she would be single. So she actually jumped online or to our PR agency very quickly and denied it, and basically said that the two were just friends, and they just so happened to meet up with each other and get lunch and just chat, and they both even met with other managers, so it could be more of a networking opportunity for them. Or it could be something, who knows, it could be something like collaboration, who knows. The possibility of them working together, that's also very exciting, so that's great too. So this is actually where the rumors come from, because people were saying that she very quickly, almost immediately jumped on and said that she wasn't dating Bam Bam, but still haven't yet denied dating V or any sort of thing like that. So the rumors are that she has for sure at one point dated V, and since V is taken or was taken, or at least in this sense would appear to be straight, that there is no way that the popular ship of V and JK is true or was ever true, which is just fine. I think that could logically check out, right? However, they now believe, because V and JK were never in a relationship together, that must mean that JK and Jimin are officially in a relationship together. That does not make any sense at all. JK doesn't have to just be in a relationship with either V or Jimin, and it's not like that's the only option. And if he's not in a relationship with any of those people, he would not be in a relationship at all. Like, what kind of comment is this saying that he has to be in a relationship with one or the other? I'm not saying either of them are untrue, but I'm just saying that it's quite odd to assume that it has to be one or the other, as if there's no one else on the planet and no one exists, as if he would have no one else that he would be interested in. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos. I'll link down below. Thanks. Just leave a comment right here. Love you. Bye.